Hey guys, all right, so there's this new model that has come out, Kimi K3. I've actually covered the Kimi models in the past, using it for game development and other tasks, and have been really impressed with the results. And I know in recent times we've got crazy models like Fable 5, GPT 5.6. So you might be asking, why should I even bother about this model? Without boring you with details, just looking at the benchmarks that they publish, the main thing you want to see is that it consistently beats Opus 4.8. And in some cases, it even beats GPT 5.6 Soul, which is the latest and most powerful flagship model from OpenAI. And this has caught the attention of a lot of people all over X and Twitter, and they're getting some really good results. And I thought I really needed to check it out for myself. Now, the number one question you might be thinking is that how do I actually even get hold of this Kimi model? The good news is that I'm going to show you today how you can get it running in your favorite tools like Claude Code, or if you've been following me on X, my recent favorite terminal, which is Grok build. And you can see over here, right? You can see I've got Kimi K3 loaded and Kimi K3 loaded here. If I just ask what model are you in both of them, you can see over here, it's reporting that it's using Kimi. And on the right-hand side, it's also reporting that it's using Kimi. And to further put it to a test, I asked Kimi K3 to build this 2.5D light game, which is a style which I've been experimenting a lot with recently. And this was the result of using the Kimi K3 model after just 2 or 3 prompts. All right, so first things first, how do you go about using Kimi K3 with Grok build or Claude Code? And there's lots of different ways that you can do this using Claude Code Router, Claude Code Switch. But you know what? I find that these things are really unnecessary. I'll show you this much simpler way that doesn't require you to use some external tool or application or whatever. If I want to run Kimi with Claude Code, I just type Kimi, and you can see here, it actually launches Claude Code with Kimi. And if I want to run Grok build with Kimi, I just write Grok Kimi, and it launches Grok, the Kimi K3 model. I don't have to use some random switching tool or whatever. I don't have to use any external tool. It just works out of the box. So this is what you want to do, right? But the first things first is that you just modify a configuration file for Claude Code or for Grok. So for Grok, you just need to go to your .grok directory and config.toml file, and then you just add the following lines into it. So you just specify that you have a new model called Kimi-K3, and then you can just set your default model to this Kimi-K3, and when you run Grok, this will actually be your default model. And for Claude Code, it's slightly different. I like to create a Kimi-K3.json file within the .claude settings folder, and then you just put in this information that you see over here. So you can see it's very similar, right? You just put in the base URL here. One thing to note is that for Claude Code, you put in your Moonshot API key directly here, but in Grok Code, you don't actually specify the key directly. Rather, you actually say what environment variable will contain the key. All right? I'll explain what this means very shortly. All right, but this is basically what you want to do. And then after that, as you can see in these instructions over here, what you can do is you can just do export Moonshot API key equals to blah, whatever your key is. And then after you press enter, you just do Grok -m Kimi-K3, and you will see that this launches Grok with the Kimi K3 model loaded. And for Claude Code, what you need to do here is slightly different. You write Claude, and then you do -, settings, and then you pass in the path to your Kimi K3 JSON. And you will see that this loads in Kimi K3 into Claude Code. And the reason why you want to do it this way is so that you can very easily switch between your default Claude. And so I'm just going to show this to you over here. You can have all of these different settings files, whether using GLN, Kimi 2.5, and then you can see over here, I have Open Router variants of these different models in case I want to use Open Router rather than using the platform itself. And this way you can just create all of these aliases and then switch between them very easily. So let me just show you what I mean over here. So if I want to run GLM, I just type GLM, and I'm now able to run Claude Code with GLM 5.2. And then if I want to just run Claude with the basic default Opus 4.8 or Fable, I am able to do that without having to do any switching. I can just have this running this way. Okay? And it's exactly the same theory that we have over here with I can create like a Grok Kimi, I can create a Grok GLM, or any other model that I want. In this case, I only am using Grok with Kimi at the moment, so I don't have any other aliases. And you can see I can just switch between the regular Grok 4.5 or this Kimi model using this approach. So this is effectively how I work and how I like to switch between models and use different harnesses. All right, so let me just talk to you a little bit about the game that I got Kimi K3 to make. It's actually still going because I asked it to continue to add more polish, but the base requirements of the game are already there. I asked it to be a lot like Paper Mario, so it actually did this. So if you played the game or seen videos of it, you will see that when you walk around, there's this nice flipping effect. It has this nice effect such that when I'm in front of the tree, it automatically knows to make it transparent so that I can look and see my character. It was able to create the coin pickup mechanics and the rest of the environment, as well as the camera zoom and movements. All right, and this was just after 2 or 3 prompts. And one of them is still going, where I basically said, please continue to add polish to this to make it look better. Now, you might be wondering about the sprites here. It's using a tool that I built called Spriterrific. And all I had to do was just add the Spriterrific skill to it. And then I just prompted it to create the character in the style of Paper Mario. And I'm just going to show you here. You can see the result is that it was able to create the hero character. It made use of the Spriterrific API skill. And then it just went ahead and generated all these sprite sheets that are game ready for me. And if you've been following this channel, you will know that I've done a lot of videos about how you can create game ready assets using a mixture of different models like GPT Image 1.5, Nano Banana 2, and Grok Imagine. And it's a multi-step process in order for you to maintain your character consistency. And one of the most important things is that you want it to be able to have walk cycles that look right. And it is a multi-step process, like I said, but Spriterrific makes it completely transparent. It just works right off the bat. I just passed in a single prompt and it was basically able to get me all of the animations that you see over here. And if we jump into the game over here, you can see the other animation is working correctly. The walk animation also looks correct. And you can see that it has alternate facings as well, and the image is consistent no matter what. And that's the beauty of working with Spriterrific, is that it allows you to stay right within your favorite AI tool, whether it's Claude Code, whether it's Claude, whether it's Codex, Grok, Build, Cursor, or whatever it is. And you can just prompt, and you can see here, right? Like I just said, if I'm not wrong, in Paper Mario, we see his back view when it's walking up. And therefore, I would like a back profile side view, and then just use the skill to generate this. And you can see immediately it was able to generate a correct back-facing view, maintaining character consistency, and then animating the walk cycle perfectly. So stay tuned, because I'll be doing more videos on lots of different games that I've been working on, as well as how I make use of Spriterrific as part of my workflow. And I forgot to mention that Spriterrific is actually now available for public use as well. So you can get started for free. It's extremely to get started. You just add the skill from what you want within your agent, and then you will be able to get your spreadsheets ready to go. All right, so this has been a really quick video covering a bunch of different things that have been released today, which includes Kimi K3, also how you can get this to work in Claude Code, as well as Grok Build, which also we just announced today that they're going fully open sourced. And finally, Spriterrific, which was also just launched today. And if you haven't seen my other videos where I built a point-and-click adventure game, as well as a Streets of Rage beat-em-up game using nothing but AI tools, you want to check out these 2 videos over here. All right, till next time, I'll see you.